Brace yourself for an unforgettable adventure of self-discovery and enlightenment that will leave you breathless with anticipation. Hi, I'm Elena and welcome to my channel. We will be sharing the awesome journey of a woman who wants to know if she is a second wave volunteer on Earth. She found herself on a magical journey to a world beyond her wildest dreams, a holy place she was very familiar with. Join us as we uncover an angelic existence and unravel the mysterious secrets of the soul and find out who she really is. And now we are traveling to the realm of the Crystal City.
It is a city that looks like crystals.
Tell me, is it daytime or is it nighttime there? Or whatever you feel, tell me how it is.
There's no such thing.
Keep going.
It's like if you go to a crystal shop and you see the really white, bright crystals. The city looks like that. Everything's made like crystals and it's bright. It's so bright. I'm on a path and I'm walking. It's really bright. Everything is like glass almost, but it's not glass. It's a crystal and it's very illuminated. Even the path that I'm walking on, you can almost see through it. It's like crystal.
How do you feel being there?
Safe, warm, like I am home, like...
It feels like home?
It's not physical people. I can't see physical people, but I know that they are there. And there's no fear, there's no anger, there's no war, there's no worry. You can just walk on the street by yourself and feel no fear. If you saw somebody on the street, you would react to them like a family member, even though they are not a family member.
So everyone is very open to each other? Loving?
Very loving.
If you look down on your feet, what do you see? Is it a male or female feet?
I don't have feet. It's something, but it's not. It's light, but it's not. I have feet, but they're light, and they don't need to walk. They just need to make contact with the path and they can just move on the path. They don't have to walk. And there's a robe that comes down to my feet that's also a light of some sort. It moves like fabric, but it's not. It's a light.
Is that the clothes? Is there a robe?
It's a robe of some sort. It's like a long, and it's white. It's brilliant white, and I'm white as well. Brilliant. No, it's not. I'm goldish white. The robe is white.
What about your skin? Do you have skin?
No. I have hands, but there's no...
You can see through them? Is that what you mean?
No, you can't see through them. But there's no real fingers. But you can touch and you can hold things and move things, but they're not. You know that they are fingers, but you can't.
Can you see them?
No, it's just light. It's just like looking at a bright gold white light. It is white, but it's not pure white. It's got a gold
in them.
But the robe comes down to my wrists and it's white. It's pure white. And it has like a lapel, like a circular lapel around the bottom of the robe and around the bottom of where it comes to my wrists. It doesn't...
Why is the rope tight?
It's not material. It is part of me, kind of. And it moves all the time. It looks like it's moving in wind, but there's no wind.
You mean like an energy sort of? From
Maybe.
Moving with the energy of yours?
Maybe.
Because there is no wind. Is that rope do something? Is it made to do something?
No.
Why do you have that rope? Does it hold something?
Everybody has that rope, but I don't know why. I don't think it does anything. Everybody's is the same. Nobody's is different.
You have same one, the same color, same shape.
Yes, everybody.
Look up to yourself, on yourself. See, describe it to me, your face, your hair, if you have. How do you look?
I'm light. I'm a light. I don't have...
No facial?
No face. You can't make anything out, although the shape of it... So it's light, so you can't make out a perfect shape, but it's kind of like a diamond with lots of sides to it. But you don't know that. Only I know that. All that people see is light, and it's that golden white. It's a different color to the robe, but not an extremely different color. And it shows, there's lots of, it reflects almost like a crystal. There's facets of light that come off everywhere.
Yes, yeah, because it's like a diamond, so it reflects and make a lot of light, right?
Yes.
So you're on the path, walking somewhere. Where are you going? Is there a certain place you need to be?
I just wanted to see the city again and feel the energy of the people. You don't have to be anywhere. I don't feel like I have a home, but there are structures that you can go into. There's the path goes to this main structure that's really huge. It looks like a crystal, massive crystals with lots of crystals. Everybody's going there.
Why would they go in there? What's inside?
Knowledge.
They go there to get knowledge?
Re-energize.
What's that energy?
Feel the source. There's an energy source in there. And it's the crystal. It is the structure.
Is that structure is the source?
And the structure sings. You hear it. And the sound is how it works. It sounds like what we would consider angels singing. It's very high pitched but soft and soothing. And you can tell people are dimmer who've been away for a longer time, and everybody helps them to get towards the center. And you can see them become really bright, and they flow more. Their garment or robe moves more the more energy they have. It's both. You get brighter and the robe moves more, and all you have to do is be there. You don't have to do anything. And the more energy that one of the dimmer ones gets, we sing too. We make a sound like the crystal, but not the same. It's not as perfect. It's almost like an imitation of it. And we do that like we're clapping in happiness and support. And you know everyone, and there's millions of them, but you know them, and everybody is trying to just get light into the ones that are dim. And some of the ones are really dim, like you can only make out the robe and the piping. It's piping, that's the word I'm looking for. There's circular piping that looks almost like neon light around the bottom near your ankle and around your wrists, and the rest of it almost looks empty, but it's not. It's just, it looks like it's filled like when smoke moves, and it's very transparent, and that is them sick. And everybody makes a path so quickly, and sometimes this dimmer person moves slow and we help them to move faster to get to the light, and you can give them some of your light as well. And that helps them to get there. It's a massive structure. It is so big, and it takes a while to get from outside their structure. If you were on the path, it takes a while to get from the path to the center. And sometimes they almost stop because they're sick. They're inside the structure, so they've got some energy, but they're empty. And people who've got more light than others will make their way to the path, and kind of, it's not touching like we do here, but it is touching you. You just move close to them, and some of your light goes into them, and then they can move a little bit faster, and then we all sing to that person that gave them some light, and our singing helps replenish that person's light a bit. Not the same as going to the center, but it's two things. It gives them light, but it's also our acknowledgement or our thank you, and it's done in a singing form.
So you're sort of helping them to make it to the center?
Yep.
So they can get better. Why would they be so dark and dim? What happened with them? What did they do? Or what is wrong? You said they're sick?
They went somewhere to give the light.
They used all the light on someone else? Why would they do that?
Because we're so kind.
So kind.
You go places that are really dark, and
yes,
they just take the light. Not always, though. Some places you do get light back, but it's not the same light.
Yes.
It's almost like it's gold light, so it helps you. But we really can only get re-energized by that white light. But
yes.
Some people come back empty, almost hollow and grey. And you can tell almost where somebody has been or how long they have been gone by how empty and grey they are.
Because they give it away. They share.
It's
everything out.
It's really amazing when you go into the center, and
yes.
You can look up, and it's a massive crystal. It's massive. It's bigger than any building we've seen here, and it's clear. You can see through it, even though it is a structure, and it's light. There's so much light, like you can't. It's light that you can touch, that you can taste, that you can hear. You can hear it. You can hear that it sings. And it's so nice when you see one of them go in the middle. Even when you see them get like outside the circle, because it's this massive circle, and very, very white light fills all of the ones that are in the around the circle. And that's necessary because they kind of give that empty one something. I don't know if I can explain it. It helps them move to the center, is all I can say. They don't do anything, but it's just them being there helps them get this empty one to the center. And
help them quicker to fix them.
It's so nice to watch the light come, because it is, you can't describe it. It is, you can touch it and you can taste it and you can hear it and you can feel it everywhere, in every single cell, in every area of you, and every tiny little morsel of this light is more love. And it just gets filled and just filled and filled. But it also, even if you're not there, even if you have a long journey to get there, even just watching one of them become full again, it's the best feeling. And it drips down a little, like that darkish, smoky color drips out of them and into the floor and becomes part of this crystal thing again.
It goes into the crystal.
And it becomes, it's almost like the smoky thing is all of these negative experiences, and the floor crystal is as tall as the ceiling crystal. And if you look down, you see the smoky stuff go into the crystal, and it changes colors. It goes in gray, it comes out smoky, but then it becomes darker, almost black, before it goes into the crystal. And when it goes into the crystal, it becomes all these beautiful multi-colors, which is very pretty to see and watch in all of these different displays of light that look like they're dancing. And that has a different sound to it. And it's negative experiences and energy being absorbed. It's absorbed by the source, and the source takes education, knowledge, and learns from it. And everybody is absorbing that knowledge too at the same time. So the further out you are means that you're returning, or you haven't gone yet. The ones that are in the center are really bright. Oh, they're big. They're bigger than they're in a circle. There's many of them, maybe 20, 21 of them. And they actually have sort of faces that you can see, but they have hats on as well that are kind of pointed, and they are kind of, the closer you get to the center, meaning all of these people, the more knowledge you have. But you have to be really white to get to that center. I think you have to have gone out multiple times.
Reincarnations, many lives.
They're not lives.
Experiences.
They're guides of some sort. We're guides of some sort.
Or are you angels?
You think we're angels, so you would probably say we're angels, but we don't consider that. We don't say angels. We don't think we're angels. We're closer to source.
Do you have wings? People think you have wings.
It's because of the light. It's just
reflection.
light. And it's the way that
when you move,
it's the faceting from our head. When the light reflects off it, the way that it reflects, it's the only way that can be interpreted, I guess.
It looks like a wings.
And sometimes that's how people choose, because it feels safer.
Okay. But you consider yourself a guide?
We're pieces of source, but I don't know how to word it. It's pieces of source. It's rays of the source. Reflections of
of the source. You reflect him, you're a piece of him.
We're pieces of them.
And you are going to the earth or other places where it's dark.
Yes.
And you guide people or other beings.
All kinds of things, and sometimes the places we go don't even have beings. It has energy though that's not nice.
So you're saying you're going in different places. With what kind of purpose you going there?
So it's the same purpose.
To light the place?
Yep.
To make it better. And where are you right now? Are you close to the center of that crystal tower? That structure? Or are you far back?
I'm kind of in the center and I'm on the path. I'm right on that path.
So
and that way I
close.
can see the center very easily, and I can see all of the ones that are in the circle. It's not a complete circle, it's a semicircle because the path leads in and it's very big. I can see outside of the structure as well. I can see the city outside of the structure. There's not many people that come in like that though. It's rare for somebody to be that empty. And so that's why they're all in there. Somebody came that was really empty. Usually there isn't that many people needed, and it doesn't matter what they've seen or how bad that energy is. Everybody wants to help them and restore them and protect them. And everyone is, I say the word proud, but it's not right. It's a celebration feeling.
It's very loving, isn't it?
Very loving, almost like children.
Yes. When you do that, when you have that light and that transformation come to you, do you feel your expression in your face? Like you are smiling?
Yes, you're smiling and you tilt your head backwards to receive as much of the light.
And where is your arms that moment?
They're out. Oh, that makes sense. You look like an angel when that's happening. Okay. When that light... Okay. It looks a lot like an angel.
Tell me about it.
When the light comes through you, it shines out.
So
The way that it shines out, it definitely does look like wings.
from the arms?
No, from the back.
From the back?
Because your arms aren't by your side, but they're not up near shoulder length either. They are kind of like what you see when you see Jesus coming from the clouds. He has his... one of those 21 was Jesus.
Oh, he's in the center of the circle?
No, he's not there at the moment. He's somewhere else. But he's one of... Hang on, I gotta... it's hard to explain. It's almost like these 21 all have what we would think of as crystal thrones. But it's really not a throne. It's an energy source that they just...
Are they sit on it or standing?
It's more an acknowledgement that that's where they would be. And even if they're not there, their energy is still there.
Also, they can leave that place.
They're always leaving. They're
Where are they going?
to the very dark places.
Even those, the ones in the middle?
Yes.
They also have them.
They don't have to be anywhere. They are. Even if you know that one of them is not there, you still believe that they are there.
You have connection with them.
Their energy is so strong that they can be in a lot of places without it changing their energy. And their energy doesn't dip. It doesn't. When they come back to source, they're full as if they hadn't left. They never become depleted.
They're very strong. They're strongest.
Every time that somebody comes in through the door, us who have been in very dark places, And sometimes when they come through the door, their energy is really strong. It's very smoky. And
you mean dark strong?
Absence of light and source. Not bad, just absent of light. But anything that's absent of light is not a good feeling. So it's the only way to equate it. And a lot of them go away from the path. They go far on the other side of the path and they sing. They're very willing to sing and they share love and kindness. But it's hard being close to the path and giving pieces of your light. It's hard. And a lot of people don't want to be on the path. They don't want to give that light. They just want to try. You can give love and you can give light from distance. It's just harder to do. And I always choose to stand on the path. But it's not bad at the same time. It's so hard to explain because everybody gives me the singing because they know I'm going to go to the path too. Even the bigger beings in the middle, they sing louder. They say, I know you're going to go to that path. Let me sing for you. And I say, okay. And I say, I'm going to get a bit sick here. Help me. And they say, yep, we'll help you. But I still touch them. I always go to the path. I always give my light. And it's easy. It's too easy for me. And it's hard here. I gravitate towards people who are lost and it hurts me all the time over and over again, but it's harder here because you're not close to source. There isn't a replenishment of light and I forget that. It's different. When you're up there in the city,
yes,
your light can be replenished so quickly and you get that sensation of celebration. People know you're going to touch the ones coming in and feel sick-ish. Yes. Sick is not the right word. You're going to feel lower for... It's so quick though. It's just this very small time. But what the others don't realize is I get to see... I'm getting closer to the center is what's happening.
Is that the good thing?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
That's where you get to see the colorful lights happen.
Right.
That's where all of the knowledge is. The more knowledge you get, the closer to source. You can't get closer to source unless you keep touching. I see. You can stay there in that big auditorium forever if you want, but you can't get the knowledge. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful place. It's so beautiful. But if you don't get closer to that path and help those coming into that auditorium from the darker places, you can't get closer to the center. And I'm getting so close to that center because I can see the colors. I don't have to hear the colors. Yeah. I can actually see them now. I know what it looks like at that floor. I'm so close. I can...
Okay, let's breathe. Let's celebrate.
I know what all of those beings in the center look like, and so many of the ones on the other side don't.
Yes.
It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter that they don't know. It's not that they're less than. They hear it, but they just don't see it. And I wanted to see it. And I knew to be able to see all of those beings, I have to touch. And I have to get a little bit sick. But it's so quick. It's so quick. It's like this tiny blip, just a blip. And then you get all of the energy so quickly. And it's so beautiful. And then you're closer, you're just closer to the center and it's louder. You hear, it's not the singing that's louder because everybody hears that singing at the same. It's the lights that you hear louder. The knowledge, the lights of knowledge. It's not words, it's not, the information comes in sound that sounds like singing bowls. It sounds like singing bowls, and the more you see the colorful lights and hear the sounds that come off them, the closer you get to the center, and everybody in the center is closer to source.
So you said that Jesus is in the center as well.
It's so hard to explain that because it's an energy source, it's not a person. So it is Jesus, but it's not singular. It's...
But you can realize that they are different kinds. You know, there is a Jesus energy.
It is what
and
we...
that is different kind. You see difference.
Those different beings in the center go to different places for different reasons. And that one that we think is Jesus comes to Earth for a reason that they say, I can't know. But it's so loving when they tell you can't know. You just... You know that you can't know in such a lovely way. It's so... You just accept it so easily, and it's kind. It's so kind when they say you can't know. It's so kind that you kind of don't care. It's not important. It's so not important. But you just know that there's a reason.
So beautiful to be there, to feel all that love and kindness.
There are animals.
They are?
They're animals.
There?
They're like deer. They're like deer, but their antlers are made of crystals, and they're very big. I don't understand that. I don't understand why they're there, but they're for feeling. They're for a feeling. They're for... they give off the feeling that we get when we get a hug. It's the same feeling, and you can go close to them.
Can you touch one?
Yes, and it is fur.
Feel?
It feels like fur, and they're so majestic feeling, but they're so kind. It's almost like a parent feeling in a way that you can touch, and the hug has sounds in it. It's not just a sensation of feeling. It's got sounds, it's got laughing sounds, children giggle sounds comes, and it's different. It's not getting light. You don't get light energy. You get remembrance. You get, that's what it is. Because we also forget where we've been. We have to forget because it's so sad sometimes.
Yes.
But if you want to remember the beautiful ones, like children and sun and beautiful sky and beaches and your friends and being kind to people and the times where you helped people.
Yes.
If you want to remember them, you can go to these majestic animals and you kind of just look at them and say, I want to remember. And then you hug them and you feel warm, soft. It's sensations of childhood. It's sensations of, it's the sensation that you had when you were little and your parents picked you up out of the car seat when you were asleep in the car. It's that same feeling. And it's for remembering the good things only, because the other things become strict. They have to.
Yes.
But you can still go to these, I think, outside the city, there's more of them. A lot more. That was what was confusing me. And they're all kinds of sizes, and some of them are like bunnies, but then they're not bunnies, but these things are more like moose than deer. They're really big, and their faces are longer than... They're long like a moose, and they're so big. And when you're outside of this auditorium thing, you need them a bit more. And they just roam around, and you see them all the time. And sometimes you remember what they do, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just think that they are beautiful and majestic. And then sometimes you do remember, and you go to them, and they kind of nurse the back of you with their head. And when they do that, you remember. And you remember, and you hear, and you feel and smell good, positive energy. It's hundreds of things you've done, when you smiled at somebody on the street, you hear it, you feel it. It's so much more important than we realize. And I knew that. I've known that. But I am hearing it more now. Like, I know why I smile at people all the time. It's a bigger piece of giving the light than we think it is.
So smile, it's really important.
And so you can ask these. Now, if you go back into the crystal auditorium, there's only a couple of them in there, but they're even bigger, and they quietly roam around. Okay, I think they are only visible to you if you are somehow distressed or depleted by the emptier ones coming in. And I think that's why I see them more, because I stay closer to the path. And that's why I love animals so much, because they remind me
this place
of not just this place, but it's the reminder that I had that purpose of giving the light, and also remember that they will always, all animals come from these animals. All animals come from these beings. And the ones that are here on earth, in every form, are to remind people like me of source in a way that we don't recognize. And when we have pets, it's an even bigger reminder. And sometimes when we're taking care of pets here, you start to hear the sound of source and you don't know it. It is a way to get closer to source when you're here, which is why a lot of people love pets. And the feeling that you get when a pet is very sick and dying is often very confusing to people, because it's so sad, but there's something else there that we can't quite tap into. And it's that we hear source singing to us, because it's a connection to that God animal, and that it's a reciprocity. When we get back home, if we need a hug and kindness and remembrance, they give that to us. And when they're down here, we give it to them.
This is so beautiful, so kind and loving, that we not even realize being on the earth of those details.
Some of the animals are asleep as well.
They are.
And they have to come back empty as well. But I don't get to see or understand that. But the ones that we touch, so it can be any animal, even if it's scary, like a snake or a spider or an alligator. If it is in a way that we bring it into our life, like if we get a pet snake, we're bringing it closer to source. Our cats and dogs are awake and we're helping them. So the same, it doesn't matter if it's a cute fluffy animal or not. If it's close to us, every day it becomes more awake. And it goes through that cycle of that big moose animal.
It's growing.
It becomes light in a different way though, but it goes to the same crystal city.
You have seen the incredible crystal city and its mysteries. But there's still so much we don't know. Cindy turned out to be an angel, but what does that really mean? Is she still one of the volunteers? And why did she come to our world? Part 2 will answer all those questions and more as we delve deeper into the secret of the Crystal City. Get ready for a journey of discovery that will leave you breathless. If you're interested in having a past life regression, go to my website at elenanichai.com to learn more or book a session. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell to get notified when I post new sessions. Thanks and have a great day.